Let me ask you something. What if your entire life could change? Not by some miracle, not by luck, not even by a big break, but simply by a decision to get better. Not perfect, better. Not once in a while, but every single day. Because the truth is this: the secret to success, peace, confidence, wealth, health, and happiness is not out there. It's inside you. And the door to it opens every time you decide to improve yourself, even just a little. Do not go where the path may lead. Go instead where there is no path and leave a trail. Ralph Waldo Emerson. Section 1, the power of consistent growth. Let's start with a truth that's simple yet life-changing. You don't have to take massive leaps to change your life. You just need to take small steps every single day. There's something magical about steady, consistent growth. Something that most people overlook because it doesn't look dramatic. It doesn't make headlines. It doesn't go viral. But let me tell you something important. Growth that lasts is rarely loud. It's quiet. It's consistent. It happens when no one's watching. Think about a tree. When it's first planted, it's just a seed. No one claps. No one praises it. Most people even forget it's there. But deep beneath the surface, something powerful is happening. Roots are forming. The foundation is being built, slowly, quietly, but surely. And one day that seed becomes a tree, strong, unshakable, unstoppable. That's what consistent growth does for you. Day after day, it builds the foundation for a future you can be proud of. Let's use another example. Imagine you get 1% better every day. Not 10%, not 50%, just 1%. After 1 week, it's barely noticeable. After 1 month, you feel a slight shift. But after 1 year, you're not just better, you're transformed. 1% better each day for 365 days isn't 365% growth. It's over 37 times better than where you started. That's the power of compound growth. Most people overestimate what they can do in a day, but underestimate what they can do in a year if they just stay consistent. And that's the game. It's not about intensity, it's about consistency. It's not about being perfect. It's about showing up even when you're not. So if you're waiting for the right moment to start, stop waiting. The right moment is now. The only thing that separates where you are from where you want to be is what you do daily. Section 2, why most people never grow. Let's get real for a second. If consistent growth is so powerful, why don't more people do it? Why are so many people stuck? Why do they talk about changing, dream about improving, but never actually move? Here's the truth most people won't tell you. Growth is simple, but not easy. It challenges your habits. It confronts your beliefs. It forces you to let go of your comfort. And most people would rather stay comfortable than become better. Think about it. Comfort feels safe, familiar, easy. Growth feels uncertain, unfamiliar, hard. But here's the twist. The pain of staying stuck eventually becomes worse than the pain of growth. You feel it in your frustration, in your boredom, in that quiet feeling that says, there's more in me, but I'm not living it. Now, let me give you a few real reasons people stay stuck. 1, they wait for motivation. They think they need to feel like it to act. But motivation is a myth. It's not a fuel you start with. It's something that shows up after you take action. You move first, then motivation follows. 2, they fear failure. They're scared to mess up, to look bad, to fall short. But hear this, failure is not the opposite of growth. It's part of it. No one grows without falling. No one becomes great without being bad first. You must be willing to be a beginner, to ever become a master. 3, they seek approval. They worry too much about what others think. But if you spend your whole life trying to be liked, you'll forget who you are. Growth requires that you stop chasing applause and start chasing alignment with your values, your dreams, your truth. You don't need everyone to believe in you. You just need you. 4, they confuse progress with perfection. Many people start but quit too soon because they're not perfect. Let me tell you, you don't need to be perfect to grow. You just need to be persistent. Perfection is a trap. It's just fear wearing a fancy outfit. Real progress is messy. It's awkward. It's full of mistakes. And that's okay, because every mistake teaches, every setback strengthens, every stumble moves you forward if you let it. 5, they don't have a clear vision. If you don't know where you're going, how can you grow in the right direction? Many people live reactively. They survive, but they're not truly living. They drift through their days without purpose. Growth needs clarity. Clarity creates momentum. Ask yourself, what kind of person do I want to become? What life do I want to build? And what can I do today, just today, to step toward it? Even if it's just one small thing. So now you know, most people never grow because they wait, they fear, they doubt, they hesitate. But that doesn't have to be you. You're here watching this. That means something inside you is ready. Ready to stop sitting on the sidelines. ready to stop being a prisoner to your own potential, ready to grow. And once you start, just once, you begin a journey that changes everything. Because growth is a choice, a courageous, beautiful, messy, powerful choice. And every time you make that choice again, you become more of who you were meant to be. Section 3, 5 daily habits to grow every day. Now that you understand the power of consistent growth and why most people never start, let's get practical. Let's talk about what to do every single day to make growth a habit. You don't need 50 habits. You don't need to overhaul your entire life. You just need a handful of daily practices that move the needle. Here are 5 daily habits that will help you grow, no matter where you're starting. Habit 1, reflect for 10 minutes. Every morning or every night, pause and ask yourself, what did I learn today? Where did I improve? Where can I grow tomorrow? Reflection turns experience into insight. Without it, life passes you by. You repeat the same day over and over, thinking you're making progress when you're really just moving in circles. Habit 2, learn something new. Read a few pages of a good book. Listen to a powerful podcast. Watch a meaningful video like this one. Feed your mind before the world feeds you noise. Most people wake up and scroll. They absorb fear, distraction, drama. But the successful, they're intentional. They guard their mind like a garden. They pull the weeds, plant the seeds. Learning even one new idea per day can transform your life over time. Remember, leaders are learners, and learners become earners. Habit 3, take small, bold action. Growth doesn't happen from thinking alone. It happens when you act. So every day, ask yourself, what bold move can I make today, even if it's small? Maybe it's speaking up when you're usually quiet. Maybe it's reaching out for an opportunity. Maybe it's just doing something uncomfortable on purpose. Growth lives outside your comfort zone. You don't need to change the world today, but you do need to stretch, even just 5% out of your norm. Do this every day, and your courage will grow faster than you ever imagined. Habit 4, protect your environment. Your growth depends on what you surround yourself with. The people you spend time with, the content you consume, the conversations you have. Ask yourself, is this feeding my growth or feeding my comfort? Choose people who challenge you. Choose inputs that inspire you. Choose spaces that elevate you. Your environment is either pulling you up or dragging you down. And when you control what's around you, you begin to control what's inside you. Habit 5, celebrate progress. Most people beat themselves up for not being there yet. But the people who grow, they celebrate how far they've come. Every day, look back and say, I showed up, I tried, I'm still going. That may not sound like much, but it's everything. Progress deserves recognition. Because what you celebrate, you reinforce. And what you reinforce becomes who you are. Section 4, the growth mindset, redefining failure and success. Let's slow down for a moment, because right here, this section might be the most important shift you ever make in your life. If you change the way you see failure, you'll change your future. See, most people are terrified of failure. They avoid it. They tiptoe through life trying not to mess up. And when they do fall short, they take it personally. They think failure means they're a failure, that they're not good enough, not smart enough, not meant for success. And so what do? They stop trying. They stop dreaming. They settle for safe. But what they don't realize is this. Every successful person you admire has failed more times than you've even tried. Let me say that again. They've failed more than you've even tried, because that's what growth looks like. Growth is messy. It's awkward. It's uncomfortable. You're going to make mistakes. You're going to fall flat sometimes. You're going to do things wrong before you ever get them right. But that doesn't mean you're broken. It means you're becoming. Failure is not the opposite of success. It's part of it. In fact, you can't even reach success without walking through failure. That's what the growth mindset is all about. The growth mindset says, I'm not fixed. I'm not stuck. I'm in progress. It believes your talents, your intelligence, your skills, they're not set in stone. They can be developed. They can be improved. They can be sharpened. You're not just born with it. You build it. And this means something powerful. You can't lose if you don't stop learning. You either win or you learn. That's it. So let's stop asking, what if I fail? And start asking, what will I learn from this? Because when you have a growth mindset, you stop avoiding hard things. You stop quitting too early. You stop doubting yourself every time things don't go your way. Instead, you lean in. You say, this is the process. I'm growing. You turn your fear of failure into fuel for growth. Imagine if a baby thought like an adult. Think about it. If a baby fell 10 times trying to walk and said, none of us would be walking today. But babies don't quit. They don't label themselves as failures. They just keep trying. And that's the mindset you need to come back to. But the one that says, I can't yet. Section 5, what happens when you grow? Now let's talk about the reward. Let's talk about what actually happens when you commit to personal growth, day after day, even when it's hard, even when no one's clapping for you. Because here's the truth. Growth isn't just about what you get, it's about who you become. Let that sink in. Yes, personal growth can lead to more success. Yes, it can bring you new opportunities. Yes, it can improve your finances, your career, your relationships. But those are just side effects. The real magic of growth is this. You start attracting better things. Growth changes your vibe, and that changes your life. The people you used to be around, they might fall away. That's okay. New people will show up. People who match your energy, your vision, your heart. Opportunities will begin to unfold because now you're prepared to recognize and receive them. You'll look back at the old version of you and smile, not because they were weak, but because you've come so far. You'll carry strength you never thought you had, not because life got easier, but because you got stronger. Growth becomes a way of life. At first, growth feels forced. You have to push yourself. You have to be intentional. But over time, it becomes who you are. You become the kind of person who naturally chooses the harder right over the easier wrong. You start to crave challenges, not because they're fun, but because you know they make you better. You become resilient, focused, grounded, and you realize something powerful. This isn't just growth. This is freedom. Freedom from fear, freedom from who you used to be, freedom to become everything you're capable of. And that is a life worth fighting for. Section 6, a final word. Start small, but start now. Let's bring it all together. You've heard the truth. You've felt the message. And now comes the part that really matters. What are you going to do about it? Because at the end of the day, motivation is just the spark. But action, that's the fire. And here's the best news. You don't have to do everything. You don't have to change your whole life overnight. You don't need a perfect plan or perfect timing. All you need is to start. Do not wait. The time will never be just right. Start where you stand. Napoleon Hill. Start where you are. Use what you have. Do what you can. And if you're wondering where to begin with just one small step. Read 10 pages of a good book every day. Get up 30 minutes earlier to focus on your goals. Write your thoughts down to clear your mind. Take a walk instead of scrolling on your phone. Say no to one thing that drains your energy. That's how it begins. One decision, 1 hour, one habit, and then another and another. Before you know it, the version of you that once felt stuck will feel like a distant memory. Because now you're not just surviving, you're evolving. The truth is, no one's coming to do it for you. No one is going to come knock on your door and hand you a better future. It's on you. And that's not a burden, that's a gift. Because that means you have the power to change, the power to grow, the power to become the person you've always known you could be, but only if you start right now. Not next week, not when it's convenient, not when life calms down. Now, imagine 1 year from today. If you just get a little better every single day, how much stronger will you be? How much clearer will your mind feel? How much closer will you be to the life you actually want? You don't need to be the fastest. You don't need to be the smartest. You just need to be consistent. And if you stay on the path, if you keep showing up, if you give it your all, you will get better. You will keep growing. And eventually, you will win. So here's your challenge. Make a decision today. Not a wish, not a hope, a decision. Decide that you will grow, that you will rise, that you will not waste another day waiting. Because the future isn't waiting for someone who's thinking about it. The future belongs to those who act. You've got something inside you. You know it. That spark, that hunger, that quiet voice that says, I'm meant for more. And you are. But more doesn't just happen. It's earned through discipline, through focus, through steady growth. So today, don't just be inspired. Be committed. Be someone who says, no matter what happens, I will get better. No matter what comes my way, I will keep growing. Because if you do, there is no limit to how far you can go. Now get up, start the work, and let the world see what happens when someone refuses to quit on themselves. You are the project. You are the investment. You are the breakthrough you've been waiting for. So build yourself, grow yourself, and never stop becoming